So, it's a little blurry, but this is a relatively clean kitchen. I'm waiting for those dishes to finish drying before I can do those. And I've got this little bit of paper getting some honey off of the counter. Overall, I think it was a rather productive little 5-10 minute clean. And it helps me kind of get focused. I'm in a better space and it needs to be done. Okay, so it's my first time vlogging with my camera in the air. I'm using my old little camera. She's like probably almost as, maybe not quite as old as I am. But anyways, I'll take the dog for a walk because I had a realization. Because I'm struggling so much with that climactic scene, or what's supposed to be kind of, it is the climax and it's not at the same time. It's like right before it. And I really want it to be fantastical and exciting, and like I realized that I need more fantastical fantasy things in my world because that was a goal going into this series. I need more than just fantastical species in this. And so what if I were to not skip the scene, but just word vomit all the things that I want in the scene, and then, because it's a first draft, then come back to it later. I'm just so used to having to, in my, like, when I used to write books, I was writing with a friend, and I would write on Wattpad or Google Docs or whatever, and I'd be writing for an immediate reader, and so there would feel this, like, this need for completion, for it to be like a fully done word draft. And I never really drafted things before the last 4-ish years, maybe 5 years. Never really used to draft things. So the idea of drafting something, of knowing that right now it's not complete yet, and that that's okay, is really kind of intimidating and a little bit scary. It feels wrong. Like, no, this is my project. This needs to be finished right away. But it doesn't. It just needs, again, it comes back to last video, what I was saying last week. It just needs to exist. And Sunny is so right about that. So, I think that's what I'll do with this scene. Next time I'm able to sit down and write, which could be this afternoon, because today is Sunday, which means it is a rest day for me. But rest day doesn't necessarily mean for me that I necessarily have to not do any work at all. It could mean that, you know, I work on my book or something that brings me kind of pleasure, especially because, you know, I'm working as well as being a writer, and so that means that sometimes it means that my rest days are doing something that brings me joy and is a hobby. Whereas reading, I need to do more reading. My rest days should be for reading as well. So we'll see. But those are some thoughts and some realizations I had while I was brushing my teeth and listening to my video over again and realizing all the things that I wish I could edit again. But then I want to go from, by saying it just needs to exist, I don't mean that it needs to exist in a near perfect form or a presentable to someone else form. I could think about this because this is the first time that I'm writing this book. this could be almost a discovery draft, and I haven't been thinking about this book in that way ever. So we'll see. But some reflections for the morning.
I tell myself that this scene just needs to exist because it's the only thing that might be able to get me out of the rut, and that's okay. Sometimes, like in this scene, I have to put on some music and just buckle down and do the work. Write, write, write. It's his discipline. It's not the mood. For this scene, I ended up writing just the snippets that came to mind because it was so frustrating. And sometimes it's like that with writing. I have ADHD and I've been stuck in a rut for weeks, honestly. But a realization I had while writing some of this script, which was a lot longer than I thought it would be, so I've made this voiceover instead. It's that I might have to choose goals, and that is also okay as well. And sometimes it's not procrastination, but it's ADHD and it's frustration. And sometimes it has to be okay to sit in the silence. And it has to be okay to not know something yet. After I'm finished work, as well as being okay with the I don't know, it's important to have a bedtime routine, and for me, that includes reading. It's where I wind down and where I reset for the day, and this is crucial to getting out of a rut.
Okay, I just had a thought and a realization while I was reading. I remember wanting a character to come from a particular background. She comes from a background that, ever since a genocide that they participated in as a country, they have mourned their participation in that. That their fellow that represents their realm would be appalled with, and so as a country, they have changed their ways in certain aspects, and one of those is almost like control of their emotions, and they believe that if they were able to become more like their fellow in earnest, and since a bunch of things have happened in their country, then they can become a better people, and maybe the fellow will return. And so they're waiting and hoping for their fellow to return. But I've always struggled with how to make that come across, how to show that. And a character in this book, I think Robert Jordan does a really good job with it. It just clicked something, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So that helped. Ugh, this is why we read. Well, this and many other reasons.
Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, I would just like to say to you all, like, comment, and subscribe. And by comment, I mean engage in some discussion. Do you have ADHD? Do you not have ADHD? Do you know what it's like to struggle and procrastinate? What is that experience for you? I'd love to discuss. I want to discuss the craft on this channel, and I'd love you to discuss it with me. So discuss away in the comment section and do so respectfully. And share with your other writer friends. And if you don't have writer friends, make writer friends. Share to random people. Make other people writers. Join the cult. Anyways. Good morning again. Time to get real about ADHD and some of the problems that plague us creatives. And it's time to get real about what hinders creativity. I don't know if this is working. I hope it's working. Okay, I have officially confirmed that this works. Now I have to figure out lighting in my living room while I'm surrounded by packing clothes because I'm getting ready to go to holiday I'm getting ready to go on holiday, and I am so not used to having this little microphone thing. One moment. I have decided that this is going to be the setup for the day. Surrounded by suitcase and clothes yet to be put in said suitcase. Hi! Welcome to the end of the video. Finally, we've made it. This video has been filmed over the course of about 2 or 3 weeks with intermittent filming. Oh boy. I am so not used to doing this. I officially had my existential crisis as I went to bed the night I uploaded. I think it was like 2 Saturdays ago. Yeah. And realized, holy crap, I now have to be on top of making videos. I now have a responsibility. I have things to do. Ah, scary. Here we are. Because ADHD happened after that realization of, now this is a responsibility. You don't want to do it anymore. But I do want to do it because this matters. Because I think it's really cool. And as I've been making this video, it's actually been really fun to kind of talk about the craft. I've written and scrapped a script. That's a tongue twister. And it is currently sitting beside me. And I don't know if I'm going to glance down at it a whole lot because I read it out in a video that turned into like 8 minutes and was like, no, I'm trying to aim for videos to be less than 15 minutes. This is not going to do. So instead, I'm trying to film a video that is me trying to remember what the script was, as well as a welcome aboard this crazy carousel of turning tables. That analogy is not going to stick. We'll come up with an analogy at one point. ADHD happened. I forgot to film, got intimidated by filming, had imposter syndrome, which I forgot to journal about, which is something that I want to continue to talk about on this channel. But I forgot to journal about it. That essentially talks about ADHD and those annoying procrastination because of trauma response videos written by AI or whatever in a jingle jangle song. I hate those videos so much for various reasons that I can't get into without ranting for ages. And none of us want to be here for that. I don't even want to be here for that long. So instead, I am sitting beside my couch, surrounded by laundry, surrounded by my suitcase, to tell you that ADHD sucks. Being a writer sucks sometimes, and that's okay. Sometimes you have to sit in the silence. Sometimes it's about discipline. Sometimes it's about just getting the butt into that chair, putting those fingers onto the tippy tappy keyboards, and just going and putting nonsense on the page. I just wrote like 2 or 3 scenes that I think will likely get scrapped. I don't even know what I'm writing. I'm just writing. And that's okay because that's what a first draft needs to do. I've said it a couple of times in this video. It needs to exist. That's it. That's all. Your first draft just needs to exist. Your zero draft just needs to exist. You can polish later once you know what the story is. I have realized while writing this, I'm going to have to scrap half of my character's storyline. I have to rework the series again. That's okay. That's what it means to be a writer. It means reading and seeing how other people do characterization. It means sometimes you don't write for 2 weeks and you hate yourself for it. And then you write because you're getting out of the rut. But the important thing is to get out of the rut. That's what's important. Anything else, whatever. But what's important, what's most important, is getting out of that rut. You need to do it. You need to get out of the rut. Because if you don't get out of that rut, your book will never be written. And your book, honey, baby girl, sweet thing, needs to be written. Your story needs to be told. Tell your story. It's a story that only you can tell because it's a story that is only in your head and you can only tell it the way that you want to tell it. The characters that you have created in your head, only you can tell it. So you need to tell it. So get out of that rut. Go sit in that chair, write 10 words. Write 5 words. Write 1 sentence. That's what it means to be a writer. And I'll get into what you do when you can't write shortly because I'm about to go on holiday. I will have a reflection for that later. But for now, go sit down at your desk, in your bed, on your couch, in your chair, turn off the TV, turn off your YouTube, put me away. Don't watch another video of me or another writer. Go and write your story because you are the only one who can do it.